So I'm back. Sorry. For some reason the other video stopped. I don't know. Part two. Where was I? Yeah. So I was at the point in my life where I was just kind of just having a lot of sex and trying to fill the void, and I started having multiple sex partners, and I just wasn't really taking care of myself. I mean, I was taking care of myself, but like emotionally, I was damaged. I was broken. I was depressed. I was in despair. I thought my life could get no worse. I wasn't afraid of death anymore. And I just didn't care about the things I did. I didn't care, and I got to a point I was just like, God, like, I'm so unhappy. I'm so unhappy. Why am I so unhappy? Like, why did this have to happen to me? Like, everything I asked to not happen happened. Like, what did I do? What did I do? And I just felt so bad. And so one day I was just like, you know what? This is it. I had got into it with my brother, and he said so many things to me, and it just made me hate myself so much more. So I was just like, this is it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done fighting. I'm done faking. Done putting a full face of makeup on. I'm done, you know, faking. Like, I'm happy and I'm not happy. And so I was just like, this is it. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself. So I drove all the way from my brother's house to a Waffle House. I remember like it was yesterday. A Waffle House. And I got a large cup of water. And I just sat in my car, and I was just like, God, I'm sorry, but I can't do this anymore. I'm not happy. I'm never gonna be happy. I'm a terrible person. I'm a terrible mom. I was a terrible fiance. I was a terrible girlfriend. I was terrible as a family member. I was a terrible friend, because I wasn't really a good friend, especially when I was going through this. They kept trying to help me, but you know, I wasn't I wasn't really doing what I was supposed to do. So I went in my car, and I know this is cliche. I had a bottle of Tylenol, but every pill was like 500 milligrams. And I probably took about 45, 50. I had to take some around that range. I had to. And I could remember, and I was like, okay. Then at one point I stopped because I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Then I had a thought come to my head. It was like, well, you already started. Just finish it. And I was like, you're right. Might as well just finish it. So I just started taking more pills. And something compelled me to drive to this church. And I sat in the parking lot, and I was like, God, I'm sorry, but this is where we are now. I don't want to live anymore. I have nothing to live for. At this point, I'm lost. I don't know who I am. I don't know who I'm gonna be. I don't know who I can be. I see no light at the end of the tunnel. I just see depression and anger and judgment. That's all I could see. And I remember drifting off to sleep. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is it. And I fell asleep. Because before I fell asleep, I was telling my friends, like, this is it. I told two friends, and not even my best friend, because I just didn't want to disappoint her. And I just, quite frankly, I don't know why I didn't want to tell her. I was afraid to tell her. I was just afraid to tell her. because I knew she was going to come after me. And that's exactly what I didn't want her to do. But the two friends I told, I didn't think they were going to come after me. I thought they weren't going to believe me. So, like, I wanted to tell somebody, but I didn't want to tell somebody that was going to stop me. I kind of, inside, I wanted a reason. I didn't want to do it, but I wanted to do it. And I wanted them to stop me, but they weren't saying the right things. So, I just continued to what I was doing. And I can remember, excuse me, drifting off to sleep. And I was like, okay, this is it. And I just fell asleep. And somebody came to my car banging on my window. Banging, like, banging. And it woke me up. And I woke up and I was like, first thing I said was like, no, I woke up. God, why'd you let me wake up? Why did you do that? And I could just remember being so angry and having so much hostility against God, because it's like you take away my time with pregnancy. You make me stay in Nikki for 3 months. You give me a child, then you take her away. Then I try to take my life, but you won't let me die. You make me stay here. What is the point? You know, I'm just like, what is the point at this time? I'm like trying to figure out, like, why? I'm so angry. I look up and it's one of the friends I was texting. He found me. I'd never told him where I was. I didn't call the police. I didn't call anyone else. I didn't even have my location on. So they couldn't even track me. I was trying to, and I would drift from spot to spot. So, I'm sorry, you guys. My nose is messing with me from all that crying. I drift from spot to spot so people couldn't find me. Because they said they were looking for me, but you can't find me if I'm moving around constantly. And I'm just looking at him like, how did you find me? And he's like, I don't know, but I found you. Come on. And I'm like, no, I'm not leaving. Like, I came here to die. I'm going to die. And it's just like, I was just so upset. But I was so jacked up on pills, like, I couldn't walk. And so he rushed me to the emergency room. They took me to, you know, the 8th floor where all of the suicidal people and mentally ill people are. And I was about there for maybe a week and a half. And so I wanted to get better, but I just was so far gone. I didn't know why I wanted to get better. So it kind of counteracted with me wanting to get better. And so I did enough to get out. I still felt the same. At this time I was working at my job, but I had just told them I got really, really sick and I just disappeared. I didn't tell them why. Then I got there and I told them why, but I was still battling with my life. And I was going through a lot of home issues. I didn't really have anywhere to go because, well, I was spending all my money on drugs and alcohol. And I didn't tell you guys, but I had a shopping problem. So I was shopping every day. I literally blew through $3,000-$4,000 shopping. Like, I never spent so much money on clothes in my life. And I had no home to go to. And I didn't want to go to home with my parents. I didn't want to go with my sister. My brother and me were not we're not good together. All we do is argue. And so, why do I keep yawning? I'm so sorry. Excuse me. I don't know why I keep yawning. And so, I went back to my life, but I lost my job because I was constantly late and I was always high. So, I couldn't maintain a job because I couldn't stay focused, because I couldn't be at work if I wasn't high. I couldn't fake it without being high. Like, I would sit there and cry all day. Like, I just couldn't do it. So I had disappeared on my family for maybe, and my friends. Again, I had this time I actually disappeared, and they put a missing persons report out on me. They didn't know where I went because I said I was leaving the state. I was actually planning on it, but when I was leaving, something told me to go somewhere else. And so I had listened to that voice, and I was just like, go here. And I was there for 7 days, probably. And I must be tired. I don't feel tired. And I was there for about 7 days. And when I was there, I got down and I started praying, and I was like, God, why do you keep saving me? I've tried to do drugs. I've tried to drink myself to death. One time my tire slipped and almost got into a wreck with an 18-wheeler, but for some reason my car drifted back to the other side and I was saved. And I was telling him, like, I know that was you. I know that was you. There was nobody saving me but you, God. Why do you keep saving me? And it wasn't like I was thankful. It was more of I was angry. And I kept telling him, like, nothing's getting better in my life. None's get better. You're just watching me. I'm drifting off. I was like, I'm gonna keep trying. I was like, if you don't help me, God, if you don't help me, if you don't save me, do something to make me feel better, please. Like, if you don't, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying until I'm successful. I'm going to die. I'm going to kill myself if you don't help me. And so I was just crying and praying and yelling at him, like, do something, do something. And I was like, I'm just so sick of feeling like a bad mom. Like, I can't shake this feeling because I wasn't home to save her. I wasn't home. And I just couldn't shake the feeling. Like, and I had this one friend, I kept telling him, like, I want to leave. And he was like, it doesn't matter where you go. You always gonna be in the same position because it's the inside that hurts. It's not where you are, it's you. And deep down I knew he was right, but I still wanted to go. I think I was running from my problems. I was running from this state. I was running from what was going on. And I just really wanted to get away. But I had promised everybody I wasn't gonna try again. And I'm a man of my word. Well, a woman of my word. And so I took myself back to the hospital. I was like, God, I want to die. I was like, I'm not gonna try, but I'm not enthusiastic about living. I don't want to be here. I'm gonna hope every day I go to sleep and never wake up. That's what I want to do. That's what's gonna happen, cause I'm gonna keep trying. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care if I have to drink myself away. I don't care if I have to, do whatever. But before I went back to the hospital, I had gotten to cocaine. I wasn't around it and on it long because something in me told me to leave that type of situation and those people, and because I was actually liking it, and I was always afraid of that. Somehow all of the drugs I was doing wasn't enough. So I had got into cocaine, and I just started being depressed more. And I was going to church at the time, and this is when I knew I was done for with my faith in God, because one day I decided to not go to church. But I decided to not go to church, and I decided to do lines. And I was high that whole day off of coke and weed, and I was drinking. I was gone, and I don't know. So fast forward back going to the hospital the second time. My sister had came and visited me, and we were just talking. And I just told her, I was like, look, I don't know what to do. I wanted to forgive my father, the baby father, which I had tried previously, which had led me to my faith to go to church. But I just couldn't shake the feeling. I couldn't let go. I couldn't let go of losing her. Like, I kept trying to make sense of why, but I couldn't. So I told her, I said, look, I need to see him again. She was like, you don't need to do that. I was like, yes, I do. Because I love him, but I hate him. And I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. I was like, I need to see him again. And previously, months before this, I kept praying to God, like, God, I just want to see him again. I just need to see him one more time. One more time. I need to know. I need to know. And that day I told her, I said out loud, I said, God, I need to know. I said, God, I just need to see him again. And she was just looking at me. We were just talking. 10 minutes later, and I didn't know this is the beginning of my testimony. 10 minutes later, my sister looked up and she said, is that, let's just call him Nathan, because don't want to put his business out. She says, that Nathan? And I was like, huh? She was like, right there. And I like turned around, and a guy looked at me, and it was my baby's father. He walked through that door on the 8th floor. He didn't know I was there. We weren't in contact. At this time, the courts and the cops was like, no, y'all are to not talk. So he didn't know where I was. He didn't know what was going on. 10 minutes later, he walked through that door, and he was just shook. And I was shook, and my sister was shook, and the nurses was shook because they knew why I was there, and they was like, what's wrong? And I was like, that's him who took my daughter. And all of them just was so shook, and everybody was in, they was just petrified, and we was just all standing there, and none of us knew what to do. And everybody started crying. Everybody started crying. And they're just like, it's okay. And I just, to see him so happy destroyed me. And when my sister left, I broke down and I ran to the room and I locked myself in there. Now, you know, in one of these hospitals, you're not supposed to lock yourself in a room. You're not supposed to do that. It took a nurse and a psychiatrist to get me out. And I told them, I said, look, I said, I need a Bible. I don't know what else to do. I said, I need a chaplain to come down here and pray for me, because at this point in my life, there's nothing left. He's happy. He's free. He doesn't care. I'm here depressed, trying to kill myself, and I have no way out. No way out. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what my life consists of. And so a chaplain came. She brought me a Bible. We started talking. She told me her testimony. And I told her while I was there, and I told her I tried to take my life. Then I go on to tell her, I don't know why I was saved, but I went to this church and I just waited. But I woke up. She said, well, first off, you tried to die on holy ground. God not gonna let that happen. She said, that's not gonna happen. He gonna save you. You came to him and you didn't know you came to him, so he's gonna save you yet again. And I was like, well, I guess that makes sense. And so I go on to tell her this church. She says, what church was it? I tell her the name of the church, and she looked at me. Y'all, this is the first time I ever met this lady. And she tells me, she looks at me with a shocked face. She says, Jantaya, that's my church. And I'm like, what? She's like, that's my church. And I just started crying, because I'm like, God, what are you doing? You're like playing with my emotions. Like, what is going on? And she was like, that's amazing. And she was telling me, go inside that church when you leave and go see the people that work there and go to church there. Go meet the people who probably would have found you. And I was like, okay. And so I agreed to it. And she gave me her number and her name, which she wasn't supposed to do. But something told her to do it. And she was like, this is my last day here. And I was like, that's so crazy. Like, your last day is the day I meet you. And when I meet you, I tried to take my life at the church you attend. Like, that's so crazy. So she leaves and she prays for me. I leave. I go back to my room. I get down on my knees and I'm praying to God. I'm like, God, I just need to change. Like, I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I've never truly been happy. Like, I know you can do it. Please make me happy. Help me. I can't do it. And I'm believing and I'm praying and I'm like, nothing is happening. What is going on? How long is it going to take? And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go back to the drugs and the alcohol and the sex, and I'm not going to do it. I left the hospital. I went to the church. I ended up meeting with a friend. And when I ended up meeting with that friend, we were hanging out and I ended up smoking again. I ended up going back to the marijuana. And we probably got through one blunt. We got to talking, and I was like, I want another blunt. I need it. And he was like, no, you're not getting another one. Don't ask me. And he was like, so sure. I was like, yes, I am. And he was like, okay. And he was like, you're right. You are going to get another one. I don't know why I said that. And it's crazy now being a Christian and knowing God and how God works and how the devil works. Like, it was like God was telling me no through him, and the devil, and I was like, maybe I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but I feel like God was speaking through him, but the devil was in me, but he was also living in sin, and so maybe he wasn't noticing, so the devil took it over again. I don't know. Or God allowed it to be that way. I don't know. Honestly, I still don't know. But he was like, you're right. I don't know why I said that. I want another one too. So he rolls another blunt. We're smoking. We get halfway through it. And I start feeling lightheaded. And I don't know what came over me, but something was like, tell him you're about to pass out. And so I looked at him and I was like, I'm about to pass out. And he was like, what? I was like, I'm about to pass out. And right when I said it the second time, I passed out. I don't know how long I passed out. It felt like not even a minute. He told me I was out about 40 to 50 seconds. I woke up and all I heard was a loud ringing in my ear. That's all I heard, a loud ringing. It was so loud, you guys. I can't make this up. It was so loud to the point it hurt. It started making me cry. All I could do was call on God. I was like, God, please, please, God. Like, it's hurting so bad. I can't hear him. And he's standing in front of me. He's talking to me. And I can't focus. Like, all I hear is this ringing. Like, God, please make it stop. I get it. I wasn't supposed to go back to the drugs. I lied. I'm a liar. I'm horrible. I get it. I'm not going to go back. Please just make it stop. And I'm begging him and I'm pleading with him. But it's not stopping. Then I started sweating profusely. Like, sweat is running down my body from my head to, down here. I'm literally sweating. And I don't know what to do. When you know how you get sick, so you run to the bathroom. You're like, oh, what is going on? So I'm in my head and I'm like praying, but I'm praying in my mind. The friend can't even hear me praying, but he see me like freaking out, and he's freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. He's in the bathroom with me. I'm in the bathroom. I'm over the toilet and I'm praying. Lord God in the heavens, please save me. Make it stop. Please make it stop. I'm like begging and pleading and begging and begging and begging, and nothing is changing. And And I get to a point, I said out loud, I said, I knew I wasn't supposed to go back. I knew it. I knew I wasn't supposed to go back. Oh, God, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry, God. God, please. And it's just not stopping. And I look at my friend, I'm like, get out. Get out. You're distracting me now. Okay, so before he left, I'm saying all of this. And I said, God, please just get it out of my body. I'm sorry. I want to change. Please get it out of my body. And I started puking all over the place. All over the place. Cannot control anything at this point. And he's helping me. He's helping me. He's holding my hair and I'm over the toilet. Then I keep praying in my head. And it's like the more I started praying, the stronger I started praying. And the more I started calling on God, for some reason he backed up. I don't know, he backed up. And I got to a point it wasn't helping. Nothing was helping. I was puking, but nothing was making me feel better. And I looked at him. I said, get out. Get out. You're distracting me. Get out. He didn't ask no questions. I mean, he said, what? And I was like, get out. So he didn't ask any questions. He just left. And at this point, I'm alone with God. I can pray aloud. I'm like, okay, God, it's just me and you. I was wrong. I wasn't supposed to go back. I promised you. I lied to you. I lied to myself. I said, God, I can't. I don't know what I'm doing. I said, I can't stop smoking weed. I've been smoking weed too long. Like I'm glued to it. This is my life. This is my life. This is my life. I can't do it by myself. You're going to have to help me. I was like, because if you don't help me, I'm going to still be in this position. I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. I'm like, just whatever you have to do it. I don't care. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do it by myself. I need you to help me. I said that. The ringing started dying down. I said, just get the rest of this out of my body. Just change me. Help me, God, please. Please, God, help me. And I started using the bathroom all over the place. May I remind you, I'm over a friend's house. This friend is a guy. Not just a guy, but a guy I used to mess with. Clothes are done. No way I'm sexy. No way I'm sexy. And I'm like, God, please. So after I get done puking and using the bathroom all over the place, like, I was ashamed, and I'm a bit ashamed of that part still, and the drugs, but it is what it is. This is how I met Christ. This is how I got to him. And after that, I got up. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this through God. I can do this through Jesus. And I never really said I could do this through Jesus. I didn't even really know who Jesus was. And I got motivation to change. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. God, we can do this. And I swear to y'all, I looked up to the heavens and I said, God, oh God. I've never had this type of motivation. I actually haven't had motivation since I was a child. By the time I walked out of the bathroom and I looked up to the heavens and I said that, I kid y'all not, my heart felt warm. My heart felt so warm and full. I never felt anything in my life like that, you guys. I mean, that hole that was just in there and getting bigger and bigger and bigger after losing my daughter and the drugs and the alcohol and the sex. And it just completely, it was like it just closed in an instant. And I just felt so much love, and it felt so good, and I just was like, oh my God. And after I felt that, you know how people at church start jerking? I just started jerking. I started jerking, and I was like, yes, God, yes.